Oh, Saddle Peak Lodge is in between Calabasas and Topanga.
Ah, there you go.
On one of those roads up there. So that's why I had it in Topanga.
Well, the Golden Globes is very all dressed up with no place to go. They announced their nominations, but the show has no TV home, and most of the nominees likely aren't participating.
Well, it's interesting.
And to the point where the association made this move, not requiring submissions. Like, don't reach out to us. We'll just sort of pick something, even if you're not interested.
Wow.
So why is this happening? Well, People magazine reports that Hollywood is largely boycotting the Globes after news broke last year that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association had no people of color among its membership and about other internal corruption. And this was an LA Times expose that said there were no black members within the HFPA.
It is the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. It's entirely of foreigners.
True.
Whether or not they meet your definition of what is acceptable as diverse,
well,
they're all non-Americans from all over the world.
But there have been some major celebs that came out against them. Tom Cruise and Scarlett Johansson were among several stars to speak out. Tom Cruise returning all of his Golden Globes in protest.
Does he really give a shit? Or is everyone just making a comment now?
I'm sure I forgot he had them.
If you can find him, you
his
can have
publicist returning.
Yeah, how are you going to hold that boat cover down out in the driveway, John, without the Golden Globes? Those have some heft. We were talking about this yesterday with the whole Jussie Smollett thing, and everyone who takes to Twitter like immediately, like, do we have to comment on everything? Like it's some foreign press thing. Let them work out their internal whatever. You've got them. You have to return them. Why?
Optics.
Is anyone going to punish Tom? You think someone would be invited to a dinner party and see Golden Globes on the shelves and then turn around and leave?
Good day, sir.
And why does it have to meet making the universal your definition of diverse? Like that would indicate there's a right diverse and a wrong diverse, and that's what we're saying, which is crazy.
I don't think anybody feels anything towards any of this virtue signaling they're doing. I think their PR agents are like, this is what you should do, and they do it. I don't think anyone stands behind their convictions anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you in that, because as you point out, there are real atrocities in the world. And there's plenty of atrocities being perpetrated on women. Mm-hmm. And so if, in fact, you're just working on atrocities and women being harmed, then that would be number one. And then whatever shit we got here on a much smaller scale than what went on, that's going on sort of globally, it seems like you would focus on that. I feel the same way about Black Lives Matter. Like, you do care about black lives? Yes. Well, there's a whole bunch of black people getting shot in Chicago right now. Not interested? No. Okay. What the fuck is it then? I thought this is what you're interested in.
Well, they never lied. Their leaders were trained Marxists. And as true Marxists would do, they took all the money and bought themselves nice houses and gave nothing to anyone to help in any way.
One in Topanga Canyon, by the way.
Maybe she goes to Saddle Peak Lodge.
Yes, literally the widest enclave in Los Angeles. Topanga Canyon is the widest place in maybe ever. I don't know, but certainly in LA, which is pretty diverse. And if you were worried that much about being hunted because of the color of your skin, I don't think you'd want to park it in Topanga. But all right, this is what we do now, which is fine. I get what they're doing. I get what everyone's doing. Why is it so enticing to everyone? Why are everyone climbs on board and supports and tweets out and double tweets? Like, what do we care?
That's a good question. And I grabbed this old meme, just this old quote I found online. And I thought, I'm interested to get your thoughts on this if it ever comes up. And now seems like the perfect time. It's attributed to someone named John W. Gardner. And it says, well, this is not apples to apples, but it kind of reminded me of what you're saying. Self-pity is easily the most destructive of non-pharmaceutical narcotics. It is addictive, it gives momentary pleasure, and separates the victim from reality.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's that same sort of, it's under the same umbrella of how tempting it is to feel that way and to put that out there.
Oh,
you go, girlfriend. I love that you brought that up, because victimhood is more highly addictive than fentanyl at this point. Like everyone's in the victim Olympics. Everyone's raising their hands. No one's a victor. No one's victorious in their life. Everyone's this belly crawling, sniveling narcissist that needs everyone to tell them how horrible their lives are every moment of every day. And I'm just like, guys, turn that frown upside down. Life is not that bad.
Just say no.
No.
Yeah, it's debilitating. It ruins people. It's also, it's one thing if you're a consenting adult, but in a way, it's a lot like being a pedophile or something, kids being victimized. Convincing kids, young people, they're victims, it's cruel. It fucks their shit up. And I feel the same way. I feel the same way about race as I do about COVID. Like, do not freak the young people out. You're fucking traumatizing people. They're getting depressed. You're fucking with their heads. These are long-lasting things. They stay around. The psychological ramifications are there for forever in many cases. Stop it. Like, stop convincing every young black kid you have a target on your back because you live in America, or you can't be gainfully employed, or white people hate you, or your neighbors don't like you, you won't be accepted. Freaking kids out is about the most damaging thing you can do to a kid. We happily do it because kids are the future. We don't give a fuck about the old people. They're going to die. They don't pay taxes. I don't give a fuck. But the kids, we got to get the kids. And it's cruel to kids.
I will say I agree with you completely. I went to therapy pretty much my entire childhood and teen years because of what happened to me being molested by a pedophile. So what did they teach me? To not be a victim, to be victorious, to not have that drag me down into drugs and despair, that victimhood was. And now it's like we flipped the switch. We're like, no victimhood. And I'm like, wait a minute. I had 2 decades of therapy teaching me that is the worst thing to teach anyone. And now we're supposed to just magically believe that all this time it was a big lie and actually kids should be victims. I'm like, this is just dangerous and sad.
Well, the insidious part is they don't really believe kids should be victims. They just use them to get whatever they're looking for out of the equation. Political, schools, unions, whatever it is. They're just looking to sculpt the narrative. The kids be damned. I don't care if they get burn up a few kids' lives. We don't give a fuck. We need what we need. And so they use the kids to get what they want, which is the insidious and kind of dangerous and weird part of this whole thing. But anyway.
It's grooming. It's grooming. It's what a pedophile would do to a child. Yes. Only our nation is doing this to kids for our gain, which is just insidious and disgusting.
Yeah, I call it crate training. You got to crate train of puppies. You can't do it with middle-aged dogs. You got to get them young, and you got to get them in the fucking crate. And that's what they're doing. And fucking spineless parents that are doing this to your kids, you're complicit in this. Stop it. Wake up. Don't be so fucking weak. Yeah, I don't like. It's insane. It's not. There's not going to be a good outcome. I talk to Drew about all of this all the time. Like, suicide rates are up with teens, depression's up with teens. Young teenage girls, man, they're fucking through the floorboards. Yeah. They're going nuts right now. We made them insane. They I don't know what other than moving to Montana and rubbing a deer brain on a pelt. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but
Yes. Most of my friends yanked all their children out of school and are homeschooling. And I mean, the mad respect that I have for these mothers that have now given up careers and they're willing to live paycheck to paycheck to make sure that this crap isn't going on with their kids. But like you said, with brain tanning, maybe if we took it down a notch, got away from social media and this incessant need for validation through likes and people seeing a post, and actually tap back into the earth, because we're hunter-gatherers. That's what is in our DNA, and we have taken that from ourselves. So what do? We have nothing but time to obsess over mundane, stupid things, and it's making us insane because we're not busy with our hands and busy doing something productive with our life.
We're on Instagram.
I know. Well, it's easy for you to say you're hot and you know it. I'm hot and I don't know it, so I need to be validated. Yeah. on occasion. You see, it's easier for you and your supermodel perch over there just to sit back and look hot.
Yeah, she just needs to look
No
in a
one
mirror.
validates me out here. That's the great thing about living amongst mountain people. They don't give a damn who I am or where I'm from. They just don't want me to change my town and what am I contributing to it. And that's it. And I'm like, man, I love this place. This is so good.
And to take it a step further, a lot of the wildlife probably looks at her as like, ugh, what?
Ugh.
There's nothing on, there's no meat on this
hairless.
bone. Yeah.
Hairless. Yeah, no meat. Sear
Yeah,
ribs.
right?
Yeah.
Slim
It's a
pickings.
snack for the kids.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Sorry.
Let's
what else
move
you got?
on to Armie Hammer, who Mazel Tov is out of his 9-month stay in rehab. Still facing charges of what New York Post refers to as shocking accusations of violence against women and a cannibalistic sex addiction. Hammer remains under investigation in LA for these charges that he displayed these sort of violent urges. I have the texts if you're interested. Some great quotes here. I'll say allegedly, but they didn't say allegedly. They said these are the texts. I am 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. I need to drink your blood. I'm going to be so naughty and kinky with you. I need to eat your entire body. I need to touch every part of you inside and out. I want to
That's what
bite.
Adrian's man says to the deer when he's gutting
right.
it.
I want to bite off pieces of you.
He mashes up the brain and the heart. Horrific
What's
pie.
this guy's name? He's got a good name like Cody? Dutch?
No, his name's Matthew Paul.
I'll take a Matt. I'll take a Matt.
Matt's fine. Matt's
That's what
fine.
you walk on.
It's
That's what you wipe your feet on.
biblical.
Yeah. Matt's fine.
Eh,
Matthew,
we'll,
no.
we'll allow it. The TMZ reports that the LA police have been completing their investigation of these allegations, and they forwarded the case to the DA.
I feel like it's,
So-
yeah, sorry, Adrian, go ahead.
I was going to say, am I just disgusting? And I'm just going to say this. When I'm hearing that, it could be cannibalism or she could be on her monthly. Like what? Seriously,
Yeah.
like I heard it and I was like, wait a minute. Like if he's like, I'm nasty. I don't care if it's your time. I'm going to drink your blood. Like what if it was that? So I'm not jumping to conclusions.
No, you're right. And you know what? I was assuming that we all knew and remembered other parts of this story. He's under these allegations of like these really allegedly these violent kind of attacks on his girlfriend and like beating her with a crop and keeping her in the apartment. So we'll
I'm
see.
kind of with Adrian.
Oh boy, let's get this
Well,
going.
first off, congratulations on being a cord cutter and a plug puller in terms of your lifestyle.
That's good. I got it.
Thank you. Got that,
Yeah,
Jim?
I got it.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe if you put it through the context, that's a tough putt. He's weird.
Yeah, there's no evidence of him wanting like a straw.
I'm also, though, if you want to, oh, Gina, Jesus Christ, you crossed the line, girl. It's not against the law to be weird.
True.
And or consensually weird,
True.
like role playing and dressing up and all that kind of stuff. It's when it's applied to the unweird
Right.
people.
The unwilling.
The unwilling and the unweird. So I feel like I need more of that. Is there more of that? Because and also, I don't know if anyone's learned a lesson from Armie. What is it?
Armand was the grandfather.
Oh,
He's
that's right.
Armie.
Armie Hammer or Jussie Smollett or who are Chris Cuomo. Like, stop sending texts to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Stop memorializing everything. Jesus Christ, it's out there. It
has a
exists.
timestamp.
It exists now.
Yeah.
Emails and texts, and they all get gathered up, and then we just all feast on them.
Yeah, here's one.
Pick
this
up
woman,
the phone, man.
Her name is Effie, and we're in a two-party consent state, as you know from Crank Anchor, so you can't use it anyway. The woman identified as Effie said Hammer violently raped her for hours in L.A., during which he slammed her head against a wall and beat her with a crop.
Well, that's something.
So we'll see. And hey, he and Marilyn Manson have a lot in common.
I know.
should get
It's
together.
weird.
I'll
Beat
say
each
this.
other.
Do these texts also have the responses to the women, or have they been conveniently redacted and then only his texts are there? Because I always have a problem with that. I'm like, where's the rest?
Yeah.
Because we live in a world where we're constantly being bamboozled by weirdos, and then we believe their story, and then what happens? Like, I'm tired of being victim of being like, yeah, I stand with blah, blah, blah. And then you find out that blah, blah, blah is a liar and that none of that happens.
We're getting a healthy dose of that lately.
Yeah, I
Yes.
could use a response.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, like where's the whole conversation?
Like, ooh, tell me more. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's like we talked about with, Matt Lauer.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Lauer was accused of a bunch of stuff, but there's also a bunch of texts and stuff of her like responding and coming back and having more sex. And, there's another side of the story. It can't, it gives you the full context of the story. Doesn't mean whatever happened didn't happen.
It doesn't negate it, yeah.
It just means, gives you some context.
Right.
Right.
Well,
innocent until proven guilty, right? I think that's something we've kind of forgotten.
Yeah, we're getting away from that.
Well, legally, not socially.
Right.
I think there's been a huge divide there.
He's going to have, the thing also about actors or hosts, teleprompter readers, we don't really need you, so it's hard to come back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
These guys probably could have used the team that put out the new Peloton ad when it comes to marketing. And just as a teaser, by the way, if you're watching the new Sex and the City, this is the time to fast forward, major spoiler, and to wet your whistle. I have a little quote from Christy Bishop in here too. So this is the story of the new show, And Just Like That. I don't know if you watched it.
I'm going to watch the shit out of that, though.
Oh, then I can't. I
heard this story.
I didn't, and I watched it, and I fucking cried all night.
I know, it was very sad for people.
Wouldn't have watched it. So one of the main, I'm just going to say it. Carrie's husband now, Mr. Big, he, in the final moments of the first episode, he dies after riding a Peloton too hard. And Peloton is fucking worried. So that caused all this controversy. Peloton stock prices immediately fell.
Peloton, by the way, is the name of his Greek maid. Just so you have some context. I know you're out in the hills there, Adrian.
So in a damage control move, Chris Noth, who plays Mr. Big, and Jess King, who's you guys would probably know, a big Peloton instructor.
Yeah, Christy knows that because she showed this to me this morning. She goes, this is brilliant. Look at this.
Yeah, and she was in she played Allegra, but does a Peloton coach in the show. They have this commercial that's really great, put out by Ryan Reynolds' marketing company. And at the end of the clip, you're going to hear Ryan Reynolds' voice do this long disclaimer on health benefits of using a Peloton.
Well, Peloton stock dropped like 11% or something after they aired this.
And if you'll remember before you play this.
Sorry, Gina, but sorry, Adrian. How dumb are chicks? They're watching the show's not dumb there. They're watching a TV show, a guy dies exercise. They're like,
can't do that.
Take it back. Like, these are real people. This didn't really happen.
No, I disagree. Go ahead.
How stupid do you have to be to watch a fictitious show where someone dies on a bike?
It's the ladies. This isn't the boys.
No, this is Wall Street. This is those big swinging dicks on Wall Street saying, we got to prepare for this because people are going to freak out. That's what I think.
I think it's driven by the bitches.
Remember the show This Is Us?
Yeah.
And how
I'm not gay.
A couple years ago, one of their main characters died from a faulty crock pot, and crock pot had to put out a statement. So this happens.
Really? Okay.
So anyway,
Jaguar in Mad Men, right? Was trying to kill himself in a Jaguar?
I didn't even think about that.
I'm losing faith in the human race the more we talk about this.
Crockpot's like, we're really sorry that happened to the character, but we're third-party tested. Right. So this is the spot with Chris Noth and Jess King. And listen to the very end and listen closely to what Ryan Reynolds says.
They're in front of a fire.
To new beginnings. You look great.
Well, I feel great. Shall we take another ride? Life's too short not to.
And just like that, the world was reminded that regular cycling stimulates and improves your heart, lungs, and circulation, reducing your risk of cardiovascular diseases. Cycling strengthens your heart muscles, lowers resting pulse, and reduces blood fat levels. He's alive.
It's funny.
So I asked an expert. I asked Christy Bishop, Brian's lovely wife. I did this morning what she thought of this. Really was I had no idea if she was going to think this was a good idea or a bad idea.
She loved it.
This is her quote. She says, Pelotons had a rough few months after product recalls, sluggish sales, stock dips. The Sex and the City episode alone caused the stock to slide 11% on Friday and had the potential to become an enormous PR nightmare. Peloton had a tough choice. Address the ad ASAP or hope it goes away. They made a very smart choice.
Address the ad or address
the issue?
Oh, yeah. Damn it, Christy. They made a very smart choice to enlist Ryan Reynolds' Maximum Effort Marketing Company to respond in a way that would land well with Peloton users, Sex and the City fans, and other audiences. Their entire creative response was turned around in less than 48 hours, and it's a brilliant, hilarious response to a potential PR nightmare.
Good.
So I guess it was a good thing.
We're all talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why we needed to talk about it.
Who chose Moonlight Sonata? Like, that's
Ryan
so
Reynolds.
depressing and dark.
Clearable.
It's clearable.
Yeah.
I guess, but why not Ode to Joy?
That's the question. Speaking of clearable, when you think like Crock-Pot makes a statement, Jaguar, Peloton, I'm shocked that you're even allowed to use a real product in scenes like this, that you're saying killed people.
People have been killed by Peloton products, so I guess you could say, well, it's based off of actual events.
I guess.
Yeah, Peloton knew that they were going to be in the show, but they didn't tell them that
they know they're
why
gonna
what they were going to do. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like poor Crock-Pot. Okay.
Like the time I did the man show bit where I was trying to have sex with my mom.
Right.
But I told my real mom I was working on an homage to her.
Yeah, in a way.
It's a little bit of that.
I see. That
See
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah, you
Just
finesse
kinda
it.
Finesse it.
Yeah, I
a
get
little
it.
bit.
We do have a Time Magazine's Person of the Year. The other one was the Athlete of the Year.
You know what made that story extra funny?
What?
My mom said, okay, and we hung up the phone, and the next time I talked to her, she goes, I looked up the word homage. Thank you very much.
I can't believe she didn't know that.
She said she's a Chicano studies
was gonna say,
major
she's
for
still in
18
college.
years at
Educated
Valley
woman.
College. I don't know why she didn't.
Wow.
I'm a construction worker from North
Yeah.
Hollywood. I don't know. My mom went to college for 29 years.
She's
I don't
still
know
in
why she didn't
college.
pick that one up.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't homage a cheese in French?
That's probably what she was
Yeah.
thinking.
So the Times Person of the Year is Elon Musk. The magazine cites his influence in the global
Good.
economy, Tesla, and efforts to go to space. Says the richest man in the world does not own a house and has recently been selling off his fortune. He tosses satellites into orbit and harnesses the sun. He drives a car he created.
I've renewed faith in humanity.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
tired of the fucking 11-year-old who stood up for transgendered, whatever, all this fucking nonsense. Here's a guy that goes out, takes names, fucking kicks ass, creates jobs, builds shit.
And gets
our
the credit.
kids are going to use one day if they're not using them now. Good. Let's get back to this.
Yeah.
Adrian, what do you think, Elon Musk?
I think he's based and hilarious, and he's spectrum, and my husband's on the spectrum, so I appreciate where he's coming from with the no filter. But I imagine Twitter's having a meltdown. Not that I would know, I deleted mine, but I just imagine everyone's collectively losing their minds, and that brings me great joy.
I'm the same way. I like when people lose their mind. I'm also just old school. I need you to do something
Right.
to get your award. I don't like it when it goes to, they go Times Man of the Year. All the ladies from the soccer team. Like first off, I don't like it when it's 14 people. I like one person, male, female, and I
Right.
want you to cure something, invent something, do something.
What year was it? The Journalist. That was one of the years.
recent.
2016 or 17.
Like I had that's it's neither fish nor fowl. It's nothing. It's like you've just given it to everybody. I've given it to all the children in the world. You know what I mean? So,
That means nothing.
give it to a dude. All right, let's bring it home.
You
baby
got
girl.
it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. I am 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. I need to drink your blood. I'm going to be so naughty and kinky with you. I need to eat your entire body. I need to touch every part of you inside and out.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Never has it been a better time to be like functionally illiterate and busy all the time. Because if I get any of those texts, I remember my replies. Will do.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
See, it's just a wine and
Right.
a.
Yeah.
Like I give one word responses. See you then.
Yep. See you
Boom.
then.
Done. No, I don't have time to get kinky and weird.
Yeah.
I can't spell half the shit he
Oh,
wrote.
God, that'd be
Thumbs
so
up emoji.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it's nothing. All right, let me tell you about LifeLock. The holiday season of giving is also a season of taking for cyber criminals. Stay safe while holiday shopping. Only visit secure sites, use a VPN, and create strong passwords. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives Every day, we put our info at risk on the internet. In an instant, cyber criminals could harm your finances and your credit. Good thing there's LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats, like your social security number for sale on the dark web. If they detect your information has potentially been compromised, they will send you an alert. So protect yourself with LifeLock, right, Dawson?
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can keep what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year with promo code ADAM. Call 1-800-LifeLock or head to lifelock.com. Use promo code ADAM for 25% off.
All right. If you want to get hold of Adrianne Curry, send her a smoke signal. See if the...
Dress up as a bear.
See if the Gulf Stream will take it over to her cabin.
Or don't get a hold of me. That's even better yet.
That's a first.
God love you. Well, I'll put out adriancurry.com just because it's at the top of my plug sheet anyway. And but don't use that.
Whatever you do.
Yes. All right. I'm doing a couple specials coming up. Let's see. We got live shows. Yeah, the Brea Improv. I think the second show is sold out, but the TJ Miller show still got some tickets left. That's coming up this Wednesday. And then we're all going to be in Portland, 22nd, 23rd of December, doing some live shows there and some stand-up there. Just go to amcarolla.com. For all that, you can watch those shows. You can go to dailywire.com and check out my stand-up shows over there. Truth Yeller. Until next time, down Carolla for Adrianne Curry and Gina Grand Ball Bryan saying mahalo. We have an alleged victim here who rubs one out to this crime that happened to him.
Question.
Checkmate.
All right, I rest.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
You beat off to it.
Yeah.
You're
You
right.
have- you would
We
have
don't have
to.
to deliberate.
There is no such thing as a 16-year-old who's banging their teacher that did not beat off to it at some point along the way. This is 3 years later. You know what I mean?